Now on 4 News Now at 6, a second chance for Coeur d'Alene Public Schools to avoid a budget crisis. What's at stake?
And I'm tracking thunderstorms making their way across the inland northwest to let you know where they're headed next and when we can expect another round in your first alert forecast.
An update to Washington's drug possession laws. We'll break down what's inside the bill that the governor just signed into law. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We start with breaking news out of Olympia. Within the last few hours, Governor Jay Inslee signed a new drug possession bill into law.
Lawmakers came together to tackle the state's drug possession law that's set to expire on July 1st. And our Peter Choi joins us live in studio now with what to expect from this bipartisan bill.
Yeah, it was an emotional conversation with many lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, sharing personal stories and tackling the issue of drug use possession. And some say this is a small step in the right direction and to hold drug users accountable. And they said it will also create a new path for those who need help to recover. Critics say passing this bill is not enough to solve this issue.
And I want to thank all the legislators for working so diligently.
The battle to keep the state safe from the effects of drugs continues.
Senate Bill 5536 is declared passed.
Tuesday's special legislative session was filled with stories related to drug use.
We cannot offer hope for these people that are in the throes of addiction. What good are we?
The new bill would make illegal drug possession and public drug use gross misdemeanors, with the maximum jail time for the first and the second convictions up to 180 days. A third arrest could mean up to 364 days in jail. The new bill will limit the fine up to $1,000.
But my concern for public safety indicates we need something stronger. For that reason, Mr. President, I'll be voting no.
The new bill is aimed to help more people who are facing drug addiction by adding nearly $20 million in recovery centers and youth services. Spokane Senator Andy Bilek says it will bring a positive difference for many families who are suffering because of drugs.
It's important to know that this is a bill that's treatment-centered. Addiction is a health disorder, and so it makes sense that you would have a treatment-focused response to a health disorder.
The bill talks about a lot of people that can help you get into recovery navigators. I think this is good stuff, except I don't know what they are. I don't know who's managing this.
Senator Andy Bilek says the goal is to continue to increase infrastructure for drug addiction treatment.
The bill itself has a number of direct appropriations, so we provide funding for many of these diversion and treatment programs, and also provide money for court-related costs like public defenders in the bill.
And I think this bill is better, but we got a long way to go.
Now, the law goes into effect on July 1st. Spokane City Council passed the new drug ordinance that would make the use and possession of drug a gross misdemeanor. The Spokane Police Department says it's now arresting anyone who's using drugs in public spaces starting this week. In studio tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Peter, thank you. Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward praised state lawmakers for updating the law, saying, in part, we have a drug crisis, and this steps us back towards tougher boundaries and prioritizing public health and safety. To read her full statement, find this story on KXLY.com.
Now to breaking news out of Coeur d'Alene tonight. An assistant professor at North Idaho College is in jail accused of battery. Zachary Schallbetter teaches web and graphic design at North Idaho College. He was booked into the Kootenai County Jail a little after 1 o'clock this afternoon. According to a jail roster, North Idaho College trustee Todd Banducci made a citizen arrest on Schallbetter. Schallbetter faces charges including battery and malicious injury to property. Both carry a $300 bond each. We've left messages with Banducci, Coeur d'Alene Police, and North Idaho College to get more information.
Let's take a live look over downtown Spokane tonight. Storms are making their way across the inland northwest.
Let's send it over to meteorologist Matt Gray, who's in for Chris tonight, to see where these storms are headed.
And there's not a lot of storms out there, but the ones that are there, you know, they're pretty big and they're pretty noisy as well. We look across Spokane County, Kootenai County, it is pretty quiet. In fact, it was a little bit noisier on the radar earlier today. We have one shower now trying to get itself going in the Dishman Hills off of this big boy right here, which is now beginning to work its way to the west. And in fact, right at the 904 exit there on I-90 where you head north towards Cheney, so the Tyler area and Fish Trap. This now moving at about 10 to 15 miles an hour to the west directly has likely produced at least a little bit of small hail on its journey and has been spitting out lightning even far away from that storm. Now, if you are watching from the Odessa area, Sprague, Ritzville, the general path of these storms is, well, kind of in a counterclockwise circles. Where I've drawn the arrow here is going to be that general path here for this storm, which does seem like it's going to continue to keep itself fueled as we head over the next few hours. So everything's spinning around some low pressure sitting over the Blue Mountains. We head further to the north. We have some strong storms still hanging out north of Tonasket and Republic. A flash flood warning up in the Cascades. One reason why it's just been sitting there basically staying stationary, so a lot of water headed towards Leavenworth. We have a flood watch in our area because of some of these storms. It could be slow moving, and there will be potential for more storms as we head later on tonight. So that is what we'll be watching for. We have our round that's ending right now, and then as we head into midnight and later, we have a chance for a second round as we enter Wednesday. I'll talk more about that coming up.
Matt, thank you. Less than 2 hours are left for voters in Coeur d'Alene to cast their ballots for or against a $25 million public school supplemental levy. This is the second time the school district has tried to pass the levy, and if it fails again, hundreds of teachers will be let go and 2 elementary schools will be shut down. Our Rania Kaur is live outside the Kootenai County Elections Office where ballots are already being counted. And Rania, what has voter turnout looked like so far?
Kirsten, right now they're counting the absentee ballots and getting those early voting results in. There's just a lot more people coming out to cast their vote at the polls today. I spoke to Kootenai County Clerk Jennifer Locke, who tells me voter turnout is much bigger in the places where they're deciding the future of Coeur d'Alene schools.
St. 410 on election day, before we even opened, we already had 30% turnout between absentee and early voting. And so that affects the Coeur d'Alene school district at that point.
For context, that precinct only had an 18% absentee and early voter turnout back in March. Given what's at stake, though, with Coeur d'Alene schools, Locke says they expected a larger turnout today. Regardless of whether the supplemental levy passes or not, the Coeur d'Alene School Board will be addressing it tomorrow. Just a reminder that supplemental levy needs 50% plus 1 vote to pass. Coming up at 6:30, hear from Locke about when we can start expecting those results. Live in Coeur d'Alene, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Rania, thank you. The Lakeland Joint School District wants voters to pass 2 separate levies that failed the first time around. One of them is a $9.5 million per year levy for 2 years. The district says without it, there would be drastic changes to athletic and music programs. The other is a $1.1 million plant facilities levy. To be sure to download the KXLY app and turn on push notifications to get the results of tonight's votes. We'll send that straight to your phone.
Tonight, the Liberty Lake City Council will vote on an ordinance that would give them the power to decide which books are allowed on the shelves at city libraries. Right now, a 5-person board oversees changes at the library. If approved, the City Council would have the power to override the board's decision if there's enough backlash. The meeting begins at 7 o'clock.
A 12-year-old boy in Grant County is now behind bars for allegedly threatening his teacher online. The sheriff's office says the threat included a photo of the boy holding a gun and a piece of paper with the teacher's name on it. The deputies say the gun was a replica. The student was arrested for felony harassment and was expelled from school.
Still ahead, we'll show the weather event that interrupted this Little League game and the 7-year-old's reaction who got caught in the middle of it.
And concerns over Scraps is violating its no-kill policy. The confusion over what that means coming up on 4 News Now at 6.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Save your greed! Arby's, 2 for $7 every day. Classic beef and cheddar hard. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
My dad has dementia, Alzheimer's. The major issue that we face as a multi-generation family is what is the care for the caregivers, especially for the younger generation who cares. We'll provide peace of mind that when you need some time off to take care of yourself while taking care of the family. For people of color, for minority communities who are already shy of asking for help, when they need it, it's out there, it's available, and it's easy to go ask for help.
Selection. Wendell Nissan has it. Altima, Frontier, Titan, Murano, Rogue. Even certified pre-owned vehicles. Cars, trucks, and SUVs. Our inventory has never been better. Great selection, great service, and great financing options. Don't delay. Visit Wendell Nissan at the Y on North Division and drive for generations.
It's spring decking season, which means the best time to get the best selection and savings before the summer rush hits. From the decking pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop, shop for wood.
Shop where the contractors go for the best ideas to make your backyard beautiful for summer. From a great selection of aluminum and iron rod railing to the best quality decking choices, Windsor Plywood is the one-stop shop to get it done.
Windsor Plywood.
Coeur d'Alene Casino presents the Core Stars Entertainment Series. Join us as we celebrate our 30-year anniversary with an amazing lineup of the hottest entertainment. See comedian Jeff Foxworthy on Thursday, July 27th. Don't miss an evening with Night Ranger on Thursday, August 24th. Plus, join us for King of the Cage on Thursday, September 14th. For tickets, visit the casino box office or cdacasino.com. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home.
Arby's, 2 for $7. Every day, a classic, a favorite, an Arby's legend. 2 of those things for just $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
New at 6 o'clock finals are just around the corner.
And many students, especially teenagers, are struggling with end-of-the-year anxiety and worry about their futures. Vanessa Perez is here in studio with us to talk about how you can help your teen finish the school year at ease.
Well, parents can help their teens finish off the year strong by being patient and opening up conversations about what they may need help with their schoolwork. As the school year closes out, students can be feeling higher amounts of anxiety and depression.
It's predictable, it's common, it's treatable easily. It's just getting the word out that this is okay and this is part of a life stressor that we need to learn to deal with. And what a great opportunity to learn how to deal with the stresses that life brings us.
Higgins is seeing about 50 patients, mostly high school students, and more than half say they're struggling with testing and end-of-the-year anxiety. As your student prepares to tackle finals, partner with your teen to figure out their missing work, late assignments, and anything they're behind on.
Also, I ask parents, don't punish your kids for struggling right now. I mean, it's common. All kids go through it. Punishing doesn't help. Work to find a solution, and you can also call the school counselor and see if there's homework clubs. Most of the high schools around here offer that, or extra help they can get at school too.
She says be patient and know your kids are doing their best. You can also open up a conversation. Spend 30 minutes a week doing something fun and talking.
Talk about things. Don't correct them. Don't say you should, you need to. Just open up conversation and say, is there anything you need extra help with? Or is there anything you're struggling with at school? And be there to help them. That's the key.
As your child gets ready to knock out the last big test of the school year. You'll also want to make sure your student's study area is in a quiet place with few distractions. Higgins says a bedroom is the worst place to study. The library would be a good spot to take them. Live in studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
We have another day with a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow and then a little bit of a break, but with drier weather comes hotter weather. We're talking about some record heat coming up in the forecast, and then something that maybe if you like some more spring-like temperatures, you'll like as well.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Floor & Home by Carpet One.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda, home of the lifetime warranty.
Well, hi. Hey, I'm looking for a new Honda, but I heard some dealers are charging outrageous prices.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we're not doing that. With us, it's business as usual.
That's a relief.
And we include a lifetime warranty at no additional cost.
We are a family-owned dealership, and our reputation is far more valuable than overcharging our customers.
We want to be here for you today, tomorrow, and in the future.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Call today for our available inventory and check out our website at cdahonda.com.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
25 years ago, one extraordinary show danced its way into history, Riverdance. Now it's time for the next step, the 25th anniversary show.
May 26th through 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts.
The Chevy RS family of SUVs has it all. Whether you want the 10.2-inch diagonal color touchscreen on Blazer or extra peace of mind with Chevy Safety Assist, standard on the 2023 Chevy family of SUVs. So take your pick. The choice is yours. Spring into adventure and get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Equinox models. Or get $1,500 cash allowance. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
With so many options to try to help you slim down, it's like we're living in a weight loss revolution. But what do you need to know about weight loss drugs? This week, Dr. Jen is here with answers for you. Plus, the new Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey, and Harrison Ford, live on GMA this week.
Did somebody turn off the lights? Don't forget your seatbelt.
This car won't start until you buckle up.
Seatbelt, Grandma. 1 hour, 2 hours, wake up.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
However you say it, it's perfect. Together, we get there.
Ooh, you're looking at a Little League tournament in Florida.
Got saved.
I know. That was a little dust devil that popped up. And here's what the 7-year-old catcher had to say about being caught inside.
I don't breathe that much, so I held my breath, and I feel like I couldn't touch the ground, so I kind of lifted up a little bit. If that happens again, I'll be prepared.
He'll be more prepared, but I mean, who would be prepared for that?
I don't know. He's not even wearing ruby slippers.
The boy's father got some water on him to clean all the dirt out of his eyes. Poor kid, before going back to play. He was
what a trooper.
Back in the game.
That had to have been the hottest home plate on earth at that moment. My goodness, that's quite a heat difference that fuels those types of things there. Wow. Incredible video there. Pretty good looking shot here as well on I-90 at the Tyler Interchange, where it has been pouring down rain here for the better part of the last 15 minutes as our one lonely storm has moved across much of southern Spokane County and now tracking off into Adams County at this hour. So for Spokane, we're going to get missed by that, but there have been a couple of hints for maybe a few sprinkles on the South Hill, and I'll zoom in to show you that scan on the radar. Looked a little bit better in our last scan about 5 minutes ago, but you might run into a sprinkle here in the South Hill over the next 10 minutes or so. It's just been the way it has gone today, where when it's heavy rain, it's super heavy, and everybody else has just kind of been watching and waiting for something to happen. You can see some other storms there in northern Okanagan County. We have some other storms approaching the Leavenworth area. Things that are elsewhere are fairly quiet, though we are going to have to keep an eye on just because of how our wind flow is today. For some of those storms in Montana may end up crossing the state line later tonight. More storms, some will even show up after midnight around the region, and another day with a good chance of thunderstorms popping up on Wednesday. All that before we get to, record heat coming up for this weekend. You thought it was hot before. Just wait until you see what's going on. Here are those storms I mentioned in Montana, trying to push their way into North Idaho, but likely we'll see at least a little bit of action drop down out of Canada. I would be looking for areas north of I-90 before we get to, say, 3 or 4 in the morning. You might hear a few rumbles of thunder. As we skip forward now to about 7 in the morning, that will leave us with potential for, just like we saw this morning, for a little bit of rain around the Palouse and mostly cloudy skies as we start off our Wednesday. Now, the sun will break out here as we get into the late morning and early afternoon, and that'll help fuel some of these thunderstorms. Most likely, we are going to see a pretty decent storm coverage, basically from Lake Pend Oreille south across the Idaho Palouse. Some mostly North Idaho getting the storm action here with some more isolated coverage as you cross the state line over into Washington. This is about 2 o'clock on our radar simulation. You can see as we head towards 5, 6, 7, our northern Washington mountains also picking up some more isolated thunderstorm activity as well. And then we can say goodbye to the storms, at least for a few days. Mild temperatures are continuing, especially with some of that cloud cover overnight. Upper 50s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Some spots, as you can see there, Grand Coulee and Lewiston, only getting down into the 60s. Same for Omak, and we're going to start to heat up a little bit as we head into tomorrow. 87 for Moses Lake. Omak gets up to 88. Spokane hits 81. With the cloud cover in the morning and more storm coverage in the afternoon, we'll see mostly 70s in North Idaho. But we'll just keep on rising after that. Thursday, mid-80s, Friday, upper 80s, 90s, the first one of the year, and going to smash the old record, which is only in the mid-80s for Saturday. Then we're going to cool back down again and actually get some sunshine and cooler temperatures. For the first time in a long time, we've got numbers that don't start with 8 on the board. This is not the only thing we're going to be watching here as we head into the middle of the week. We'll talk more about that in the next half hour.
Thank you, Matt. Well, there are concerns that Scraps is violating its no-kill policy, and that has some former employees speaking out.
During public comment at Monday night City Council meeting, former Scraps employees accused the shelter of putting down dogs that they say could have been saved. Bronte Sorotsky is live outside of Scraps with the allegations the shelter faces. Bronte.
Well, what it means to be a no-kill shelter is coming into question after former Scraps employees say the shelter no longer deserves to call itself that.
These animals should not be killed because they have trauma from a life and humans failing them.
Former Scraps employees are speaking out, worried the no-kill shelter is violating that promise.
There's a lot of dogs' lives on the line.
These claims are concerning to some council members who say the shelter's contract with the city clearly lays out what it means to be no-kill.
It says that the animal must be in the process of dying or have a irremediable diagnosis for behavioral issues or otherwise.
Councilmember Cathcart says that requires a vet or behavior specialist to diagnose the animal and the Scraps director to make the final say on putting the animal down.
We have made a substantial request for public records to take a look and see what the data says as to how those decisions were made.
We sat down with Scraps about these allegations they say are untrue.
We still follow the no-kill ideology and methodology. We don't euthanize healthy and well-managed, well-behaved dogs.
One of the dogs whose euthanasia was questioned was a dog named Amelia.
So there's a dog named Amelia who was euthanized. She did have metastatic breast cancer. However, under the previous administration, she would have gone to a hospice home and not just been killed.
Scraps says it had exhausted all of its options before putting Amelia down.
My vet had reached out to other facilities, to other veterinarians, and they had all recommended that quality of life was really in question, and as a result, by recommendations of experts within their fields, they recommended that euthanasia was the most humane and ethical thing we could do for Amelia.
Although questions remain with different interpretations of no-kill and how severe an animal must be to put it down.
I mean, a lot of hypotheticals, a lot of assumptions, we just don't know.
With all those questions, this is still an issue that Councilmember Cathcart, his team, as well as 4 News Now are looking into. Reporting live in Spokane Valley, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. A trend of dead livestock is raising concern among Whitman County ranchers. What's being done to hopefully uncover some answers? Next.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep, just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Donating your vehicle to UGM Motors is easy.
When you drop off a vehicle, you have to sign a paper of, I donated this vehicle. And that was the hardest part. And I didn't have to fill it out. They filled it out for me and had me sign it.
Your car, truck, RV, or motorcycle will provide food, shelter, job training, and recovery services at Union Gospel Mission.
I think it's a great service to the community.
Call 509-327-HELP to schedule a free pickup today.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him. Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower replacement.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
I think that would be my reaction too.
Yeah.
A fisherman in Hawaii is counting his blessings. He wasn't hurt in that attack.
And I heard a whooshing sound that sounded like a boat, like heading towards me without the motor. And I looked up and I saw this big, wide brown thing, which my brain thought was a turtle.
Well, the fisherman was able to kick the shark away, even kept on fishing. He doesn't know why it happened, but says after the attack he also saw a wounded seal, saying he believes the shark confused his kayak with that seal.
Makes sense.
The gunman who killed 3 people and wounded 6 others in New Mexico was an 18-year-old high school student.
Investigators say Bo Wilson lived in the Farmington neighborhood where the shooting took place. Many questions still remain, like a possible motive that may have led him to randomly shoot and kill 3 women. Gloria Pazmino has the latest on the investigation.
Finding a bullet hole through your daughter's window was just like, my gosh.
More questions than answers a day after a teenage gunman killed 3 people and wounded 6 others in a Farmington, New Mexico neighborhood.
The suspect roamed throughout the neighborhood up to a quarter of a mile. At least 6 houses and 3 cars were shot in the course of the event.
So far, authorities say the suspect was armed with at least 3 guns, including an AR-15 style rifle.
This is the room, went through right there.
It was traumatic to be barricaded in your laundry room with your daughter, who's 1.
Law enforcement arrived 5 minutes after the first call. Within 3 minutes, they exchanged gunfire with the suspect, killing him on the scene.
We are doing the best that we can to piece through and talk with family members of the suspect, piece through what was going on, look at the evidence to see if we can figure out what the motivation was.
Among the injured are a New Mexico State police officer hospitalized in stable condition at last check, and a Farmington officer who was treated and released. I'm Gloria Pazmino reporting.
And New Jersey lawmakers warning parents about a glitch on the iPhone, saying a bug in Apple software can automatically turn off the parental controls that prevent kids from viewing explicit content and limits their screen time.
A few months ago, I started hearing from parents that Apple's screen time parental controls weren't working properly. They kept randomly resetting after parents set them. Then we checked, and we had the same issue with our kids, time and again, including, by the way, this morning. It reset again.
Well, that representative says Apple confirmed it's aware of the issues, but provided no clear timeline for a fix. It comes as data shows children ages 8 to 12 in the U.S. spend 4 to 6 hours a day watching or using screens, and it's up to 9 hours a day for teens, far more than what experts recommend. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including the new Pro Soccer League that will soon call Spokane home. Plus,
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center, same location and family-owned since 1928. We're a full-service garden center and everything is locally grown. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for weekly deals. Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center in Spokane's Perry District.
It's the biggest used vehicle sale to hit the Spokane area in years. This week at the Spokane Valley Mall. As multiple dealers and over 400 top-quality used trucks, sports cars, and low-mileage SUVs are marked down and priced to sell fast. With top dollar offered for all trade-ins and over $2 million brought in to loan out. Plus, you can even roll some dice for a chance to win $5,000. It's the biggest used vehicle sale in town this week at the Spokane Valley Mall.
How you doing? I noticed your windows could use an update.
No, our house is only 3 years old.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, we're offering 40% off right now, today only. You're gonna want those new windows.
No, we're good. Hello?
How about them windows? Double or not? Do this. Come on.
Knock out high-pressure sales with Northwest Window and Door. Let our friendly, knowledgeable sales team help you today.
It's spring decking season, which means it's time to get the best selection and pricing before summer from the decking pros at Windsor Plywood.
It's time to shop for wood.
Get it done now before the sun comes out.
Windsor Plywood.
It's time. Time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away to the place that's not so far away. Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Win a dream giveaway at cda4.fun.
Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center, 3 generations in the same location since 1928. We have a great selection of geraniums and nonstop begonias, annuals, perennials, vegetable starts, and hanging baskets. We have it all. Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center in Spokane's Perry District.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Right now, thunderstorms are making their way across the inland Northwest.
Some areas seeing a little bit of hail as well. Let's send it over to meteorologist Matt Gray, who's been tracking these storms. Matt.
Yeah, a little bit of hail and also a chance, unfortunately, for some flash flooding. We have a new flash flood warning to tell you about in Okanagan County. This primarily is going to be impacting the Wakanda Pass area, so that's between Tenasket and Republic on Highway 20. That will continue on through, as you see on your screen, through about 9:15. Strong thunderstorm there. Basically, has been sitting over the same spot for the last 30 minutes. So folks having any plans later tonight to move over the Wakanda area on Highway 20, keep in mind, may run into some issues there. Now, because of these not that many storms, but some storms that are dropping lots of heavy rain in a short time period. A flood watch continues until 10 o'clock, though I suspect in many areas this alert will be pulled a little bit early as the radar is on the quieter side now. We did see one strong storm in southern Spokane County. We have some storms we're going to keep an eye on in the Montana area, and then those 2 flash flood warnings, one in Okanagan County and one in the North Cascades. So as we go through the rest of the night, we are expecting at least a little bit more storm activity, but there's going to be a bit of a lull here for the next several hours. We'll have a chance for some more rumbles of thunder after midnight and more storms coming in for Wednesday, along with some record heat. And that might not be the only thing running through our skies over the next couple of days. I'll explain coming up.
Matt, thank you. Breaking news, the body pulled from the Spokane River last week has been identified as 20-year-old Joseph Kamau. We first told you about his disappearance from his home near Gonzaga University in early March. His family told us back in March they were concerned about his disappearance because personal items were left in his apartment. The medical examiner has not released the cause or manner of his death. New at 6:30, professional women's soccer is coming to Spokane. It's one of 8 markets in the inaugural USL Super League. Coming in 2024, the USL Super League would be a direct rival to the current National Women's Soccer League. According to ESPN, other cities include Lexington, Phoenix, and Tampa Bay. The league's president saying, quote, "You've got 12 professional women's teams in this country and amazing cities and fans and players who want to be part of this movement of professional women's sports."
Well, there's a concerning trend catching the attention of area ranchers after a bull was killed and castrated.
Well, right now, no one knows why it happened, but they are hoping for answers. 4 News Now's Natalie Grant was in Whitman County today to find out more.
In the rolling hills of Whitman County sit ranches like Moe's here. But an alarming trend is sounding the alarm with these ranchers who rely on their livestock to survive.
Rock Lake Road is lined with pastures, and it's not uncommon to see a cow or two. But you don't expect to see this livestock brutally killed in one of these pastures.
I don't know why somebody would do it. I have no idea.
That was the reality for the team at Moe's Ranch. Last weekend, they found one of their bulls shot and castrated.
A clean cut with a knife, cut right off,
leaving the dead bull and many questions behind.
Once in a while, you see cows being shot from stupid people driving around and thinking it's funny just to shoot something, but never seen anybody take the testicles off and leave everything else.
The Mills say this is something they have never heard of before, but Jim Wetland with the Spokane County Cattlemen says it's a trend they're seeing every couple of years, but right now it's gaining momentum with other ranchers in the area reporting dead animals in their pastures.
Years ago, something similar to it did happen down in that same area. And I was ranching in Oregon before that, and it happened in Oregon also. And it puts everybody on edge. So it just, you wonder, who's next?
So before the situation gets out of hand, the Mills hope someone comes forward and people understand the importance a bull like this plays in their livelihood.
It's irritating because, you know, we work so hard, you know, trying to maintain everything and, you know, run a business, you know, so we can survive. You know, if you don't have bulls, you don't have offspring. If you don't have offspring, you have no income.
A $1,000 reward has been set up for anyone with information on the killing of this bull. We'll have that posted on our website, KXLY.com. Reporting in Whitman County, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Gonzaga basketball has added a game to the schedule for next season, and it's against a familiar foe. We have the latest coming up in sports.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Windsor Plywood.
Summer's here, and with an exciting new Toyota, you can take a trip to the beach, the city, the mountains, the desert, ooh, the bayou. I think I'm sinking. Definitely sinking.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
The main event open house is on now at R&R RV Center in North Spokane. See the top-selling motorhomes, toy haulers, fifth wheels, and travel trailers from the nation's top brands. Tour our service center, stock up in the parts department, and enjoy free barbecue on Saturday. Every RV open and marked with a low sale price. Bring your tray and check your mailbox. You may have won a new RV. The main event open house on now at R&R RV Center, 525 East Francis, North Spokane.
92.9 CZU.
Is your dog pulling you on walks, behaving poorly, or not listening to your commands? Unleashed Academy will resolve your dog's aggression, leash pulling, and reactivity. Our trained behaviorists will teach you and your dog to have a relaxed relationship you can be proud of. Call today.
Of course I know the theme song.
Entertainment Tonight. That's what people want.
It's hard to think of Entertainment Tonight without.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, come on. Since I was a little kid.
This is Entertainment Tonight. This is the Bible of show business.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Tonight, voters in Coeur d'Alene will decide whether to fund public schools with a new levy for the next 2 years.
The $25 million levy would replace an existing $20 million levy that expires next month. And our Rania Kaur is live at the Kootenai County Elections Office with what's at stake. Rania.
Aaron, Kirsten, we've heard from people passionate on both sides, whether it's teachers, parents, students. Even now, there are some people right down the street holding posters, trying to get those last-minute votes in. Here's what's at stake if this levy fails. 2 elementary schools will close, meaning all of those teachers and staff will be cut. Bora, Bryan, Ramsey, and Dalton are all on the short list. Elementary schools aren't the only ones being impacted. High school staff and middle school staff will also be laid off. Funding for extracurricular activities will also be cut. Just a few of a much larger list the Coeur d'Alene schools will cut if the levy fails. There's been a push on both sides to get their voices heard today. And with me, I have Kootenai County Clerk Jennifer Locke.
It's today. Yes, we have. So right now we're over at 40,000 turnout for Election Day, absentee and early voting. In March, we had about 28,000. And so we're seeing it both sides, particularly in Coeur d'Alene and then the Hayden area, which is the Coeur d'Alene School District.
Now, of course, polls close today at 8. Tell me what's going to be happening precisely at 8 when those polls close. Tell me about that results.
So at that point at 8 p.m., the ballots will come back here because we're and in the meantime, we're still receiving. You can see people are still dropping them off. We'll be receiving those, verifying signatures, opening them, and running the last ones through before we post early voting and absentee after 8 p.m.
When can we expect the final results of both the Coeur d'Alene supplemental levy and the Lakeland school levy?
It depends how the precincts come in and then just how.
Let's go. Okay. So we're having some technical issues there. Well, if you live in Coeur d'Alene, here's how much more a month you'll have to pay if the levy is approved. According to the school district, if your home is valued at $300,000, your taxes will go up $277 a month and $633 a month for a home valued at $525,000. To see exactly how much more you'll need to pay, we have a link to a levy tax calculator. Just look for this story on KXLY.com.
In your forecast focus for tonight, here's something I didn't think I was going to be talking about in May. We're taking a look just to the north of, a good, 30-40 minute drive from Bonners Ferry. This is Creston, BC. You notice it's kind of a dull kind of orange glow, icky skies. You may have already figured out what I'm talking about here. So as we zoom out on our satellite picture, you can see there's a whole lot going on up to the north here, including some funky looking stuff up this way. Now, I'm going to add another satellite layer. And so these areas in red, these are the tops of the thunderstorms around the inland northwest today. In Alberta and in BC, the vast majority of the rest of this light gray that you see is actually wildfire smoke here in May. Millions and millions of acres now, or at least 1 million acres, have burned over the past couple of weeks in Alberta. We've seen fires now in BC. And with our wind patterns today, a lot of that has tracked to the south. In fact, our friends over in Montana, especially right along the Rocky Mountain front near Glacier National Park, they are seeing unhealthy air quality as far south as Great Falls because of this and the winds tracking unhealthy air all the way from northern Canada into the United States. Now, for us, things are okay, at least for the moment, but I am going to be keeping an eye here, and I think we're going to have to, at least for the next 24 to 48 hours, on some of this smoke up in BC. Already we're starting to see in Kamloops, which is not too far away when you consider our wind patterns. that we're seeing the air quality begin to dip a little bit. So something to watch, but we may see at least a little bit of haze as the sun sets in North Idaho if we are not already in the Panhandle. Temperatures right now, 70 in Bonners Ferry, 75 in Colville, 70s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene as well. We had much cooler conditions today, and look at that, we're already down to the 60s in Pullman. So even though it was a little muggy out there, it was nice to see some cooler temperatures. As we go through the evening, temperatures generally in the 60s. We're going to have a chance for a couple showers once again up north in Canada. That's where everything's coming from today to make their way down here. So let's pick this up at midnight. Chance for a few rumbles of thunder here. I think based on how things have been going and how our computers have been performing, the coverage is probably going to be a little more isolated than what you are seeing on the screen. But as we get into the morning, cloudy skies, a few sprinkles littering around the area, kind of like what we saw this morning, just a little bit of a smaller scale. Then in the afternoon, more scattered thunderstorms developing. Largely that's going to be from Sandpoint south through North Idaho, with a few storms pushing across the state line into Washington. But the further west you go, the drier you will be as we go through the day. By Wednesday evening, this system is out of here, and we may end up with some hazy skies based on that wind flow, as I just showed you earlier. 50s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene tonight. Our mild temperatures continue, and we're starting to creep back up into the 80s in Spokane. We're lagging just a couple of degrees behind in Coeur d'Alene. We're all on the road to record heat as high pressure reasserts its dominance Friday into Saturday, our first 90-degree day of the year. Luckily, this heat won't last long. We're back in the 70s by Monday.
Thank you, Matt. Time is running out to strike a deal on raising the debt limit before the June 1st deadline. Lawmakers stress that it's up to President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to find common ground and avoid a U.S. default on its debt. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen reiterates how the nation could sink into another recession if Congress doesn't raise the debt limit. McCarthy is accusing Biden and other Democrats of not taking the negotiations seriously, while the Senate Majority Leader has blamed McCarthy for refusing to take a government default off the table.
The one thing I do know is that the House Republicans have acted. We need the Democrats to now start taking it serious.
If you want to own a home one day, default would take that dream and run it through the shredder.
June 1st is just 2 weeks away, but congressional lawmakers actually have less time than that to pass a debt limit bill since they're due to leave for Memorial Day recess this weekend, ramping up pressure on the president, McCarthy, and other congressional leaders to reach a deal as soon as possible.
And new at 6:30, scientists have discovered a comet in our solar system that has water vapor in it. This is thanks to the help of the James Webb Telescope, and the comet is located in the main asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. The Space Observatory says the findings suggest water or ice can be preserved in a warmer part of the solar system.
And here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just 1 day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Congratulations to Rathdrum, Idaho, Stubmeyer Park, and its Holt Field that's going to be rebuilt with the Diamonds and Dreams. The field needs a lot of work, and we're here to help. Diamonds and Dreams with the 4 News Now Extreme Team, brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
Everybody plays a fool. Tell them, Judge Harvey. We want money. No exception. You lost this when she started talking.
Judge Steve Harvey. New tonight on ABC.
Spring is here and it's time to get outside and play. Save on all the fun stuff this spring at the General Store, including a wide variety of gardening supplies and products, camping gear and supplies, hot clothing styles and brands, disc golf essentials, baskets, bags, and discs. You'll find everything you need and more at the General Store. Shop one of these locations or shop online at generalstorespokane.com. The General Store. We have the fun stuff.
Life, it doesn't stand still, and neither do you. And wherever you go, we're with you. We're Global Credit Union, formerly Alaska USA. For 75 years, enriching the lives of members and guiding them on their financial journeys, giving them the confidence to not just follow their dreams, but to chase them. The future? We're on it. Let's get there together. Global Credit Union. On we go.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
4 News Now is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and Hit 5.
Well, if Gonzaga basketball is going to go undefeated next season, they'll have to go through the reigning defending champions. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Gonzaga will play the UConn Huskies in a multi-year series starting next season. According to college basketball insider John Rothstein, the Bulldogs and Huskies will play at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle next season. Gonzaga will then travel to New York to play UConn at Madison Square Garden in the 2024-25 season. The Zags and Huskies met in the Elite Eight of this year's NCAA tournament. UConn defeated Gonzaga 82-54 on their way to a national championship. And the Bulldogs are scheduled to play Kentucky and Washington in their tough non-conference part of the schedule next year as well. Gonzaga is also participating in the Maui Jim Invitational, which includes teams like Kansas, Marquette, Purdue, and UCLA. Gonzaga's Drew Timme and Julian Strawther are competing at the NBA Combine. Timme finished in the top 10 in a number of drills, including three-quarter court sprint, and shot 12 of 25 from 3. Strawther is a projected second-round pick. Washington State's Mohamed Gay is also taking part in the Combine. The NBA Combine runs today through Thursday in Chicago. Former Idaho Vandals star Bea Onsby is transferring to Washington State. Bea was 6th in the nation in scoring at 22 points a game last season. She also led the Vandals in block shots. Bea joins a WSU team that won the Pac-12 tournament championship last season. And a new pro sports team is coming to the Inland Northwest. The USL Super League announced Spokane as one of 8 cities that will make up the new professional women's soccer league. The league is set to start in August 2024 and intends to launch as a Division I league, which will put it in direct competition with the NWSL. The club will play at the new downtown stadium right across the street from us here at 4 News Now. And along with Spokane, the other cities include Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, Lexington, Kentucky, Phoenix, Tampa, Tucson, Arizona, and Washington, D.C. Hockey fever is alive and well in the Northwest, but not just because of what the Seattle Kraken did this season, but also the excitement surrounding the Spokane Chiefs. The Chiefs introduced their 2 newest players, Brody Gillespie and Mathis Preston. Gillespie was the first pick in the WHL U.S. Priority Draft. He's from Vancouver, Washington, and played last season with Rink Hockey Academy in Kelowna, where he was the 3rd highest scorer on the team. Preston was the 3rd overall pick in the WHL Prospects Draft. He played for the Okanagan Hockey Academy, where he earned the Prep Division MVP award in the Canadian Sports School Hockey League. Gillespie and Preston both had dreams of playing in the WHL, and that dream has come true here in Spokane.
I love the way they just believe in me and think I can do whatever I want to do, so it's just super exciting. It's just unreal. It's just a dream come true. I've been dreaming of this since the day I started playing hockey.
Fans here are just insane. You know, you've seen photos and videos of when a team scores in the U.S. It's pretty cool. You know the rink just erupts and it's electric. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Gillespie and Preston are eligible to join the Chiefs as full-time players in 2024-25. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you. After a 4-year investigation, special counsel releasing a report accusing the FBI of hastily initiating an investigation into the 2016 Trump campaign's alleged collusion with Russia without substantial evidence.
The report also accused the Bureau of treating the investigation into Mr. Trump differently from other politically sensitive probes like the one involving Hillary Clinton's private email server. ABC's Em Nguyen breaks it all down for us.
Special counsel John Durham has issued his long-anticipated report scrutinizing the origins of the FBI's Trump-Russia probe. Durham slamming the FBI in a scathing assessment, accusing the agency of rushing its investigation of ties between Russia and Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. Durham was tasked by Trump's Attorney General William Barr to look into whether there was political bias behind the FBI's probe of Trump. Durham found that at the time the investigation was launched, neither U.S. law enforcement nor the intelligence community appears to have possessed any actual evidence of collusion. Durham also accused the Bureau of treating the 2016 Trump probe differently than others, including several involving Trump's Democratic rival Hillary Clinton.
I thought that was pretty obvious pretty early on. We've known this has been corrupt. It's nice to get confirmation by Durham.
Some of Durham's findings conflict with an earlier major report by the Justice Department's Inspector General released in 2019, which found that the FBI had sufficient evidence to open the probe of whether there was collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. That watchdog investigation also found the FBI was not impacted by political bias, though the Bureau did suffer from serious performance failures on the part of agents vetting information from sources. In response to Durham's report, the FBI said they had already implemented dozens of corrective actions that have been in place for some time. Ultimately, Durham's 4-year, $6.5 million probe did not prove Trump's claim that there was a deep state conspiracy improperly targeting him. Durham's team charged 3 people with crimes, but his prosecutions resulted in 2 acquittals and 1 guilty plea from a mid-level FBI lawyer. That's in sharp contrast to the Mueller probe based on the FBI's investigation and resulted in indictments against 34 individuals and 7 guilty pleas. Sources say this report was sent to Congress Monday. The chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Representative Jim Jordan, said on Twitter that his committee has invited Durham to testify next week. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Abandoned malls are everywhere. Wait till you see what many of them are turning into. Next, Inside Edition, pickleball courts. From empty department store to this, the Pickleball Mall. Then, love on the picket line.
We fell in love on the picket line.
On strike, out of work, maybe it's the perfect time for romance. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Unleash your spring adventure by scoring a great rate on a Northwest Motorsport rig. Check out the best selection of lifted trucks, diesel trucks, and adventure-ready SUVs at nwmsrocks.com. Power up your spring journey with Northwest Motorsport.
No matter where you are in your financial journey, we're here to help you along the way. Open a free Ascend checking account and you can earn 3.50% APY on balances up to $15,000 with no minimum balance required. Bring your finances to new heights with our checking that pays you dividends. Get your account today at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, pick up the phone and call us right now before it's too late. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and often amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from their neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call the number on your screen to find out if you're a candidate for our neuropathy program that has changed thousands of lives. You don't have to spend another day suffering. Call us today and see if you qualify for the relief you deserve. Do not wait. Call now.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Call Russell and Hill, attorneys at law.
Where real people
with real injuries
get real results.
Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck?
Get real results.
Get Russell and Hill.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
Coming up on Nightside, people in Coeur d'Alene are voting on a $25 million public school supplemental levy. We'll have the results for you tonight at 11 o'clock.
And now would be a great time to download the KXLY Plus app if you don't have it already. We send push alerts when we have news, just like the news tonight. We'll make sure that you get those votes as soon as we get them.
We'll see you at 11.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.